It's strange how paranoia and reality can link up now and again. Hey everyone, this is Aaron from Box Productions, and welcome back to Wierd Youtube Expeditions, where we confront fear to find the truth. So now, if you remember that channel I did a few weeks ago, whose name I can't seem to remember because it was really confusing because it was a long line of letters and numbers. I think it was AO15CDO or OA15CDO. However, so according to someone in the comments section, they said, "Oh, I remember this ARG. This was the antagonist channel, a reply channel to this guy's recordings." And so they sent me the link to the other channel, which is just the recordings YT. I actually want to thank Tombstone Baby for actually putting this out, because although they say in the comment, I bet you probably knew that already, I actually didn't. I knew that was the antagonist channel because it does show it from their point of view, how they're stalking somebody, but I didn't know about the channel from the other guy's point of view. I actually didn't know that. I didn't know this existed, so I actually want to thank them for pointing this out. And that's what we're going to be looking into today. Because I actually do want to see what this guy actually did to actually get this cult to come after him. Maybe he looked too deep into something that he wasn't supposed to, or maybe he, I don't know, maybe he cut off their holy man in traffic or something. I don't know. He probably did something. Or maybe he was just an innocent bystander that just picked him at random. I mean, that can happen. It's a scary world we live in. However, I still want to try and find out. But still, I'm going to be looking at probably the first two videos of this channel because they actually are kind of long. The first one is only a minute or so long, but the next one is over 7 minutes. So I'm going to be looking at those two, and then probably next week I'm going to look at the next two, and I think the rest after that are pretty short. So without further ado, let's get to the videos. Alright, so this one is called Prologue, and I'm assuming it has to do with everything that takes place before the story proper begins. And like I said before, this is basically from the point of view of the guy who was being stalked, according to Tombstone Baby. This is from his point of view, and everything that was going on with him while that other stuff was going on OA15CDO. So, let's go. I experienced paranormal activity in my home for several weeks. Electronic equipment and even a video game were acting strange. After searching for answers for about a month. Took you a month to do this? I received... I'm sorry, I had to break that. Because it never takes me long to just sort of do stuff like this when it happens. I received an email from someone named Christina, who claimed to know who the specific entity haunting me was. She gave me a detailed story about how she believed it was actually a relative of hers. The email seemed to tie up the loose ends on why all these things are happening. Wait a minute, so somebody sent you an email saying, "Yep, it's my relative who's haunting it." Did she give any other information, like maybe she lived in this house? Or did she just say, "I think it's probably my relative," or something, just no reason? I think you're being played here. Okay, something's happening in the background. Okay. What is this? Oh, we're in the UK now. Is this the Second World War? But something was very strange about it all. Suddenly, and abruptly, after getting this email, the paranormal activity in my house completely stopped. It was just bizarre. Maybe help them come to terms, I guess? But maybe, I don't know how this is connected to the cult, though. Upon further review, I found a hidden message of sorts in the email. The first letter of each of the paragraphs, as well as the first letters of all the titles of the email, came together to spell "all lies." So, so what? I was right just off the bat like that. I'm getting good at this. I'm getting good at spotting lies. They just point out that you don't like you got an email from somebody and you just took it as true, and then you get another email. You have a message in the email itself, and it ends up saying something about all lies. So I still don't know, what does this have to do with the Second World War or the UK? I mean, there's no sound either, so it's kind of unnerving. I knew something wasn't quite right, but honestly, I was just glad that the paranormal activity happening in my home had stopped. Although it was a very scary and nerve-wracking ordeal, it was also a very enlightening one as well. Enlightening how? You didn't really learn anything here. You just sort of said, "Oh, well, here's what's going on," and then some random person sent you an email, and then the email turned out to say all lies, and it turns out it wasn't the person's relative after all, probably. And you're saying it was an enlightening experience, yet you seem to have learned absolutely nothing. Okay. I was suddenly intrigued with ghosts and the paranormal after these events took place. Thus, I decided to start a ghost hunting venture simply titled Recordings and document it with a camera. Yeah, I know, a sarcastic thing. You're not the first person to do that. I've done this. I've done similar things before. It's on my channel. If you check it out, there's Wierd Expeditions, the Halloween special I did a couple of years ago. I still don't know. I mean, is this the person? I mean, does this stuff? Does all the video in the background have to do with the relative who disappeared? I would soon regret this decision more than anything. Why? What did you do? You actually found something? I am making this video after the events of recordings 1 through 16. Have taken place for explanatory purposes. I still don't know why all of these horrible events had to happen to me. Okay, so this isn't even wait. So you did this and you recorded it and you made this and you uploaded them in order or something? But most importantly, I still don't know why I was chosen. Are you sure you were chosen for anything? It seems like you chose to this life. They didn't choose you. Alright, so far we have something of a backstory here where he was involved, where he wanted to get involved in the paranormal after some strange happenings in his house that could very well be electrical issues. Maybe I'm oversimplifying it. I could, but then he's like, oh well, in this case, I should just investigate it and try to figure it out. And there's no problem with that. The issue comes when he's like, where the issue comes up where he talks about how it was an enlightening experience despite having learned absolutely nothing from the experience at all, despite the fact the person lied to him. And I'm not sure that counts as an enlightening experience, but then he decides to get into paranormal investigation, pretty much like what happened to me. And I guess he must have found something he wished he hadn't seen, and I'm guessing that's going to have something to do with what happened on OI-15 CDO. So in order to find out, we're gonna keep going. So we're moving on to the second video right now. Alright, so here we are. We got Recordings 1, Introduction. So I guess it's pretty self-explanatory. I guess this means we're gonna get to know the person behind the camera, the person who's being hunted by the cult, and how this relates to, and probably how this relates to everything that he saw, or maybe we're gonna see the first of what may be a long line of horror that's going to befall this guy until the day the cult seems to have kidnapped him or killed him or whatever happened at the end of that video we did on OI-15 CDO. So, let's go.
Okay, what's up, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
Got a camera here because my old one is misplaced or something of that nature.
Oh, I'm sorry for pausing. It just made me think of something. It reminds me, the way this house is set up, it kind of reminds me of Aleister Crowley, the Aleister Crowley channel with the fetish video.
This is a pretty cool
Probably
little camera though. Picked it up for about $250. So I mean, the other camera was pretty glitched and stuff. It kept messing up. So but yeah, we're gonna meet Frank at the old Redwood Park now, and
What does Frank have to do with anything?
I'll continue this vlog when I get there.
Oh, okay.
So Anthony and I are...
Wait a minute. The house. It is. So this does look like it might be the same guy because the house looked almost exactly the same.
We're out here.
So they did leave cameras and they were.
Park,
they did steal his cameras at one point. It looks like.
Episode talking about ghosts and paranormal things. So yeah, there's a lot of them.
Okay.
Around here. Yep.
Yeah, and
So
I assume you're an expert on this.
What are we supposed to be talking about? I don't really want to give people like our location because that's kind of creepy. To tell them about the urban legends here, if like we tell them what exactly it is.
How do you know this guy's even legit? I've come across a lot of mediums and paranormal investigators who make up a lot of the stuff they say. Like they basically just talk out of their butt about everything, and you can catch them pretty easily.
Like it'll reveal our location and stuff, you know. Yep. So.
Of course, you don't want to reveal it.
Just I don't know. There's several places around here that are supposedly haunted and stuff, and after that.
And what's the reason for them being haunted?
At my house. Pokemon, right?
What?
Yeah. I actually want to talk about that in a second. Clear things up in the video, but. I thought you were about to say I don't want to talk about it.
What did he say about Pokemon?
Well,
is that like
people have been asking me about it.
Is that like connection to Pokemon, the Pokemon Blue thing?
What was I saying? Supposed haunted places around here, so.
Yeah, funny thing you should say that. I mean, around where I live, they have the same thing, and I'm actually not lying about this. Because where I live, I'm within relatively close driving distance, certain areas like Fort Lauderdale, for example. So yeah, so there's like a whole lot of haunted places around there. There's Riverwalk, Strand Ant House, the inn that's also on Riverwalk too. All those places are haunted, and I did go by some places that were allegedly haunted in my Wierd Youtube Expedition, my Wierd Expeditions video on Halloween. I'm still telling you to check that out because it's really interesting. It's really interesting, but I'll let you decide if it's actually a good video or whether I should continue doing stuff like that because I don't really have any type of unbiased opinion from myself.
What me and Frank are gonna do is basically, go with the camera and investigate them. Record whatever we find because there's like this haunted church or whatever.
Investigate it how?
Too far from conditioners.
I find it funny you keep talking about these myths and legends about your area you're in, but you don't want to tell anybody where it is. Like, how are we supposed to know anything you're telling us is actually true?
Probably about 15 miles from here. Yeah.
And I'm gonna take it you're not gonna explain these myths at all, are you?
Undisclosed location. Yep, I'm pretty stoked. Yeah, I actually went there the other week. Did I tell you about that? Nope. Well.
Why does this guy look like he escaped from the 70s?
I've actually been in there at night one time. I guess they left the doors unlocked and the alarm off.
Yeah, sure they did. Or maybe you broke in.
People went up there and it's pretty spooky. Anything happened? Well, there's this door. I guess I'll point it out to you if you go up there. Okay. You walk through the main church place, and
it's weird it's pretty weird. If we're going to something that they're really interested in, they don't sound particularly interested or excited at all. They don't sound.
I don't know what it is, but you walk in the front of the church and then out the back, and there's this little patio thing that you can either go down like 2 stairs and go to like the cemetery behind it, or there's a door that they keep locked all the time. Yeah. And me and a couple friends went up there during the day, and the door.
Okay, I keep pausing, but this conversation's really dragging on.
Locked, there's nothing really weird.
Maybe I'm just impatient.
About it.
I just want to get to the gist of what's happening.
I went to check out that door. I think it was locked the first time we tried to open it, but it was unlocked the second time.
Sure, you tried hard enough to unlock it, or tried to open it, because that's happened before.
Like that's legit. I'm just trying to creep you out.
I mean, it's like sometimes you'll just go up to the door and it's like, oh, it's locked. I can't open it. Then he just turns out you're just turning it the wrong way, or something.
yeah. What,
That can happen.
What did you do up there?
You jump to Ghost like right afterward, like right at that point.
Yeah. Okay. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
How old is this? Who still
Interrupting
uses
our
a flip
goddamn
phone?
Video.
I know.
I never checked the date of this video though.
What'd you ask?
Just asked what you guys did up at the chapel. You said you saw the alarm and turned tail and run.
Oh yeah.
What?
That's basically it. I want to go ahead and talk about that whole email spiel or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, finally.
Because
Yeah, I saw that and I read a little bit of that, but
I got excited about it because, like, you know, I thought it explained away a lot of stuff, but I was just like, you know, it's like a kid on Christmas and you get something that's not that good. But
You're talking to somebody who this happens to every year
you know,
for
he like
for
thinks
a
it's
decade.
good, but it turns out to be shitty, kind of. Like I didn't. It's hard
get your
to-
hopes up. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like, you know, I didn't really take into account that.
I mean,
for one, like, you know, the person sending it had to be like 60
Yeah.
with the whole dates and everything.
oh, okay.
And,
What were the dates?
I don't know, like.
It's not
I
impossible
just
for
got
that.
overexcited and didn't pay attention to the details, but
Yeah.
the main thing I wanted to, like, most people pointed out that the paragraphs, the first letters, all, like, when the letters were all put together, they spelled out lies.
We
You can
already
actually take the title of the letter, which
we've
is
already
like a lucky
established
letter,
this.
Yeah.
and take the first letter of those, and it's like all lies, so I know it's not coincidence now. And people pointed that out, and so I wouldn't trust that letter. It was probably sent by whoever made that weird ass YouTube channel that keeps, like, it's really bizarre
Okay.
because as far as I know, I have my, like, video responses, you know, I have them
Right.
set to where, like, I have to approve them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which
And
channel?
Somehow, like, whoever that person is, a lot of people are saying it's like the ghost or whatever, but
What channel is he
I
talking
really
about?
don't think like a ghost could make an email address. It's definitely someone like screwing with me, I think, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, well now I'm interested. What channel is he talking about? Is he talking about 0815 CDO? Or is he talking about something else? How
But I don't know how
extensive is
they
the
got
narrative
their,
on this thing?
I don't know how they got their like responses to go through and me accept them, but then again, several of my videos got deleted, so maybe like somebody got hold of my password, but I changed it like 5 times.
Yeah.
Well, evidently you're not
you're the
good at
person I
making
know that
hacker-proof
has it,
passwords, though
so
nothing is hacker-proof.
since it came out,
Where-
since then.
True that.
I mean, this is interesting and somewhat informative, but all they did was kind of recap on everything, and then they sort of go off topic about Skyrim.
But yeah, that's basically it. Just a little intro vlog, you know, video or whatever, just to give you guys a heads up on what's going on. And I guess that's it.
Okay,
Yeah. See you guys.
bye. Never see you again. All right, so that's where we end up now. So far, we have this channel that actually is sort of following a paranormal event that has to do with something that started with him with his house acting strangely, and then he goes to get an email. He gets an email from somebody named Christina, who tells him that it's related to a relative of hers, and then it turns out to probably not entirely be true, because on the thing it says all lies. We add to it that he mentions that there's another YouTube channel that seems to be uploading some really freaky stuff, and he has to approve the stuff that's on it. However, they're able to upload without his approval. So that leaves me wondering if he's talking about 0815 CDO or on a completely different channel, because then that means that this entire thing is far more extensive than just these two channels. It's a rather large and intricate ARG that seems to span like multiple channels. It already spans multiple channels with this one and 0815 CDO. But I'm really wondering if that's the channel he's talking about. However, I mean, it's possible considering that's the only other one, but there could be another one, I guess, because I didn't know about this one until Tombstones told me. So maybe there is another channel that I'm probably end up looking into again, and probably going further and deeper into this thing, and then probably the deeper I go, the closer the cult will get, and then they'll come and take me next. But we're not going to find that out in this video, because we got a few more to go before we can actually get probably a comprehensive idea of what's happening here. So I'm ending this video here, so be sure to check out my other videos, both Prizebox Productions videos with our channels Prizebox Gaming and Prizebox React. Thanks for watching, and stay jamming, everyone!